How's it going, Reef Keepers? So quick note for my subscribers, if you guys want an update on this little tank, let me know. I'll give you like an update on the journey of this tank, but for this video, I just kind of wanted to put out a video for beginner reef keepers who are interested in like a 20, 25, 30 gallon setup, what they could do, what the budget might be on certain items, etc., and just show how simple this setup is for this particular reef tank. This tank did go through a pretty bad bloom in the water recently, so a couple of the SPS frags are really struggling because they did not get enough light intensity, so just keep that in mind, but everything else is bouncing back pretty good. So this tank right here is a 25 gallon Innovative Marine lagoon tank, and I've had this tank. It was my tank prior to upgrading to my big tank. But when I brought this back online for my daughter, I forgot what a cool tank this is. Like this is such a good size tank, such a manageable size, and allows you such great like depth and good width. It's not overly deep, so you can access everything really easily. It's just an uncomplicated way to get rolling in the hobby. So I really suggest like a shorter tank to get rolling in the hobby. Something people don't talk about enough, I don't think, is like tank height. Short tank like this, I forget how tall it is, maybe 14 inches or something like that. Maybe the water height's like a foot. It's really nice. It just makes things simple. So the tank itself, when I bought it, it was some years back. I think it was like 350. I'm sure they're 400 plus now. But starting out with like a quality tank, which you don't need to do, it is an Innovative Marine tank. They make a good product. I suggest it just for the peace of mind of having, a quality tank. Like I'd go with one if you could, if it's in your budget. If you can't, you can find a ton of options, 20, 25, 30 gallon range. They do not have to be like this. This tank in particular is an AIO, all-in-one tank. You can see there's a chamber in the back that has all the gear sitting in it, and underneath this cabinet that it's sitting on, there is no sump or anything like that. This saves on cost, and I would argue increases the simplicity, especially if you're just looking for a simple softy LPS, maybe a mixed reef with some uncomplicated SPS. An all-in-one tank is fine for that kind of thing. All right, so once you have tank picked out, luckily, the Innovative Marine tanks do come with a lid. I'd always suggest a lid. You can get a DIY lid that's real cheap for like 50 bucks and make one yourself if your package doesn't come with a lid. But all I'm running in this is, I'll reach down here and show you. I'm just running some filter floss in these, little cups that come with it. I am running I believe this was $50 Bubble Magus Mini Q protein skimmer. You can see the skimmet in it. It's doing a really good job, I've just got like pH temperature monitor right there, nothing fancy, no additional like test monitors or anything like that. I test the water for alkalinity once a week, and my dosing on this, as a quick aside, is just, you guys have seen this before if you follow the channel, just a DIY protein skimmer. This is a protein skimmer that does not need to overflow into your sump. It utilizes just a standard little $50 doser to once an hour pump saturated kelp water out of there, and this kelp solution automatically refills with a little nano ATO. And I have video on how to create this kelp washer DIY kelp option too. It's sitting on a little $35 Amazon magnetic stirrer. So it actually stirs a few times a day and just keeps that water saturated, which is really nice. So for heating options on this, I just have a couple of your standard Eheim glass heaters, right? I think they're Eheim Jaeger, not 100% on how to pronounce that, but they're working great. I just got a couple 50-watt heaters. You have redundancy that way. I have it hooked up to a $30 Inkbird monitor where you just, the Inkbird gives you an extra set of redundancy that controls temperature. Awesome. I have another for my ATO, another one of those. You can see the sensor here, another one of those little nano ATOs with an ATO container down here underneath the tank. that's working great. And I have like a $15 Amazon auto feeder that just rolls some, Hikari small size food into the tank once a day. For lighting, I've got let me remember what this is called. This is a Night Crew Hyper Reef 100. So the 100, I believe, has, the two groups of diodes underneath of it. And I've got it paired to a Kessel controller. Night Crew sells a controller for like $40 that apparently a lot of people have said is just as good as the Kessel controller. Maybe easier to figure out even because the Kessel controller is a little convoluted. So this light, what was it, $150 I think, came with the stand. Maybe less. I know I got it on sale. So I'm sorry I didn't like create a price sheet for it, but not expensive. It's it's not like getting a Hydra or getting a Ecotech Radeon, and it does absolutely the same job. It's maybe not as controllable and fancy, but it's been working absolutely great. Still totally controllable as far as intensity, appearance, everything else. And that really, along with just a innovative marine mid-size DC return pump that's fully adjustable and dead silent, by the way, that's it. I did get a little feeding door and install a little feeding door in there. So I got a little bit of cleanup work to do on that. See this? You got to clip out, what's in the center of it, what's left of the mesh, and then it works great. But yeah, guys, this is a 3-gallon a week water change for me. I do 2 gallons on the little clownfish anemone tank, 2 gallons on that, and then 3 gallons on this once a week. And I just dose calc. I test alkalinity once a week and adjust the calc dose to what it needs to be. And I mean, this reef is doing fine. As you can see, got frags out and happy. As you can see, that one is bleached out. It's got a little life left in it. Hopefully it bounces back. These bleached a little bit, but they're coming back after that bloom. Oh, and flow, sorry, I almost forgot. I had an old Nero 3 that I threw on here. That's much more expensive than flow needs to be on a tank like this. If I hadn't had that laying around, I just absolutely would have grabbed a J-bow. Absolutely. Just grab a little J-bow pump, throw that in there, and set it to, depending on what kind of coral you have, low flow for softies. If you have a mixed reef like this, just throw it on medium. Plenty of flow. I just put it on random mode and just let it kind of randomize flow at medium strength throughout the day. So, yeah, guys, it does not need to be, I bought, by the way, a Husky stand that was on a fire sale from Home Depot to put this on. If you guys have something laying around, you got an old, table that's, built strong or whatever, or a nook in your house, on top of some cabinetry or whatnot, use what you've got for a tank like this, right? If you can. And if you need to buy a stand, I wouldn't be paying, top dollar for a stand, from a traditional aquarium company. I would look around for like a fire sale on like a tool cabinet or something like that. I mean, to me, this looks good. I mean, maybe other people are pickier, but I got some wire cleanup to do. But overall, you can see, dead simple setup, and I have loved it. I've absolutely loved having this reef tank project and kind of shepherding it through to get it to the autopilot point that it's at now, and for very low cost compared to all my other reefing endeavors that I have undertaken to this point. My mantra previously had been, get the best stuff all the time if you can possibly do it, and if you can't do it, save up for the best stuff and, suffer in the meantime without it. And now I'm much more liable to say a lot of this budget stuff does just as well, in some random cases, even a little better than some of the super high-end stuff. And I would say, plenty of it does the same or better for the value that you get for it. So, yeah, guys, if you're looking at starting a reef about this size, somewhere around in this range, this is how easy it is. It does not need to be some crazy fancy thing at all. You can 100% access this hobby, no doubt. So, All right, if you have any questions about it, let me know. And for my longtime subscribers, I'll post a more dedicated like final build series update here in the coming days, so that we can talk. You having followed the journey of this tank, we'll talk more in depth about it. All right, take it easy, guys. Have a good one.